Hello my friends, the film begins with a very beautiful girl named Alice, and we see her meet a young man named Josh, and during the university period they love each other a lot. But after 4 years of their relationship, Alice decides to break up with Josh because she wants to live her life freely. But Josh knows that when Alice leaves him, she will not return to him again. But Josh does as Alice wants, and they separate from each other, and Alice travels, and we see that she does not want to start any love again because that will be postponed her dreams more. And then we see a very reckless girl named Robin who doesn't like anyone, and her life is parties and evenings, and she doesn't like to stay with anyone for a long time. And because of the many relationships in her life, she wakes up one morning and screams at a young man who is with her at home and tells him he should have left her house when he wakes up. But the young man replies that she is at home and not in her house, and she stayed asleep on his bed after what happened between them at night. And then Robin leaves immediately and goes to her work in that legal office. And we see that Alice was employed in the same place, and Robin recognizes Alice. And then we see a girl named Lucy, and also does not love anyone, and all that matters to her work only. And she has to go down to the cafeteria next to her house because of a problem in the internet in her home. And she gets to know Tom, the waiter in the cafeteria. Surprised how Lucy sits alone with the laptop, and Lucy tells him about her opinion on this subject, that New York has 8 million people, including 4 million women, and this is not her area of interest, and there remains 4 million men, 3 million of them under 20 years and older than 40, and also this is not her area of interest, in which case only 1 million men remains. And after she chooses the specifications of the night of her dreams, she did not find any man suitable for her, and that is it single now. And we see Lucy at the end of the day meet a man and feels suitable to her, but she discovers that he is a strange and therefore wants to get rid of him. And Tom helps her and gives her keys to enter and hides until this person gets out of the cafeteria. And Alice and Robin enter this cafeteria to celebrate Alice's first working day. Robin tells Alice that she'll teach her how to live her life without having a serious relationship with any man. And Robin tries to get Alice to get to know a man from one of the people standing next to them. But Alice can't because for the last years she's stayed with Josh. And Robin gets Alice to get to know Tom, and they stay up with each other. And when they wake up, Alice and Robin are at the house of Alice's sister, Dr. Maggie, but they wake up late, and so they're late for work. And since Robin has experience in New York, she knows that the first thing they have to do is wake up well and get rid of headache and then go to work, and actually prepares themselves and go to work. But they are 3.5 hours late. We see that Alice wants to talk to Tom and try to prevent herself, but she fails and talks to him and sees him at the end of the day. And we see that Alice cannot live without love relationships. But Tom tells her if she is looking for a serious relationship, he is not the right person. And Alice responds that she should have stayed single and not betrayed Josh. But Tom replies that it is impossible to stay single, but she can't continue with one person for a long time and don't make anyone love her. And more importantly, the fridge is empty, so that there is no breakfast or drinking water at home. And then the relationship is only for one night, and no one stays at her house the next day, because Tom does this. But Alice is not convinced by Tom's words, and she calls Josh and sees him and tells him that she wants to go back to each other again. But Josh tells her that he loves another girl, her name is Michelle, and he never cares about Alice. And here they leave each other, and Alice tells her sister and Robin what happened and advises her to continue her life without him, like she decides before. And then her sister goes to work in the hospital, and when returns home she tells Alice that the owner of the house refused to live with her. Otherwise, he will expel them all, because she does not want any problems. But Alice assures her sister that she does not do any problems, and the problem that it happened because of Robin. But yet, Alice moves into a new house alone, and Josh comes to her, and Alice rejoices a lot and hopes to get back together. But Josh has come to give her her things that were at his house, because Michelle is moving in with him. The next day, Alice goes to her sister Maggie's house, and we see that Maggie wants to become a mother, use injection clinics, wait for the results, and rejoices a lot when the result is positive, which means that Maggie is pregnant. And then comes Christmas Day, and everyone celebrates in Alice's office, and Maggie is with her in the office, and we see that someone named Ken talking to Maggie and admiring each other. And we see Lucy has met the boy of her dreams and treats him as if he were her husband. But this person shocks Lucy and tells her that he knows many other girls and she must do so too. But Lucy strongly refuses, and she answers that she wants a serious relationship and ends with marriage. And here they separate from each other, and Lucy remains shocked for a long time. And even while she volunteers to read stories of children in the library, we find her fighting with the children and yelling at them, telling them that there is no real love, nor there is no relationship that lasts forever, until George, the owner of the library, enters and makes Lucy calm down a little. And we see that Lucy has admired George. The night comes, and we see Alice invited to Josh's house to attend Josh's Christmas party and bring her friend Robin, and sees Michelle, Josh's girlfriend. And here, Josh tells Michelle that Alice is his cousin. And at this time, we see Maggie at work in the hospital and went outside a little bit to take a break. And we see Ken waiting for her outside and tells her if she doesn't buy the Christmas tree yet, they buy it together. But Maggie feels that Ken wants a serious relationship with her and wants to get married. So Maggie decides to end this relationship quickly and tells Ken she can't continue the relationship with him because she's been in the hospital all day and she can't see him. And also in the period when she can't see him, she'll either be tired or asleep. And she doesn't want to love anyone and suffer. And here they fight together and separate. And after Maggie finishes her work, she goes home and sees Ken waiting for her. And he brought her the Christmas tree as a gift. And Maggie rejoices a lot. And then we see Alice leaving Josh's party because she couldn't see Josh with another girl, walking alone in the street and going alone to see big Christmas tree. But when she's alone on the road, she sees David by chance, a man she met in a party a long time ago. And here, David offers Alice to go together to see the Christmas tree. And David takes Alice to a high place to see the tree more beautifully. And then Alice begins a new love story with David. But after 3 months, they don't continue together and separate. Alice goes with Robin and drinks so much and drinks that she wakes up the next day and sees herself sleeping in a strange house. And she's shocked a lot and leaves immediately. And here Alice realizes that she failed to stay single. And then we see Maggie trying to evade Ken because she didn't tell him about her pregnancy, until Ken accidentally sees her in a children's shop and asks her how pregnant she is. And Ken thinks he's the father of the baby, but Maggie tells him she's pregnant before she recognizes him. But Ken tells her that he wishes to be a father and raise a baby, and tells Maggie that it's impossible for her to raise the baby alone. But Maggie tells him she doesn't want to help from anyone, breaks up with Ken, and stays single like her sister Alice. Then we see Alice go to Tom to complain to him about Josh, and everyone starts talking about the person he loves. Alice tells him about Josh, Tom tells her about Lucy, and that he loves her so much. And the next day, it's Alice's birthday. And here, she meets Josh, David, and Tom in one place, get to know each other. And we see that Robin invited them. And Alice tries to hide so they don't see her, until David sees her and apologizes to her for what happened among them the last time. Then he goes and leaves her, and Alice goes to fight with Robin for what she did and because she invited them, and Robin grieves and leaves. Then Josh comes and tells Alice that he misses the days they were among them and they would make love to each other. But Josh tells her that he will marry Michelle, but he is not sure yet if he loves her or not. Alice tells him that she is wrong from the beginning because she got away from him, and she is more wrong because she waited for him all this time to come back to her. But now she really doesn't want him, and she doesn't want to go back to him again. And she tells Josh that he should focus with Michelle for their marriage and congratulates him because he is getting married. And this time we see Alice that she really wants to stay single, and she leaves her birthday party and wants to go home. But suddenly she sees Robin on the way. Robin tries to stop a taxi to take Maggie to give birth, and they take her to the hospital, and Maggie gives birth. and Ken comes to her when Alice tells him that, and Ken tells Maggie that she is crazy and has strange behaviors, but he loves her and will stay with her. And here Maggie gives her child to Ken and tells him that she loves him too, and she wishes to stay with her so that they raise the child together and they come home together. Alice returns to her life without love, but she misses Robin. Alice goes to Robin's house and tells her that she is her best friend and she doesn't mean to make her sad. Robin forgives her, and finally Alice stays alone for a long time to understand her life again, and says that there are some people looking for stability in their lives, like her sister Maggie and Ken, and there are some people who don't like stability like Tom, and there are people who enjoys their lives as she is, like Robin, and there are some people who they missed a chance, and others took advantage of that opportunity, like Lucy and George, the librarian. And finally, Alice begins to realize her dreams, and that's where the movie ends. Share your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive everything new. Miss Lambada was with you. Goodbye, my friends.